Hello everyone! Today I wanted to have a chat and channel session with you, channeling the goddess Brahmacharini. This is a form of the goddess Durga or a goddess Parvati in Hinduism. And as I am recording this, we are currently celebrating Navratri, which is a 9-day or rather 9-night festival honoring the goddess, honoring Durga, honoring Shakti, Shakti, female, divine, feminine power. And this one is very special. It's also timeless. So even if you are drawn here at a time that is not currently Navratri, that is perfectly fine and is meant for you from spirit because there are universal themes here. But in this current time, during these 9 nights, most especially, but also in this universal time where we're stepping into the age of Aquarius and more balanced divine feminine union, we seek not only to honor our great mother, but to find and empower the aspects of her that lie within each of us, waiting to be activated. It is my firm belief and experience that we are all part of Source. We are all Source. We are all made from Source. And Source is everything. So Source is both divine feminine and divine masculine. You've probably heard this from me before if you are a follower. But it's something that's very important to know because whether you are in a male or female body or gendered mindset in this lifetime, both the feminine and masculine aspects are quite important. However, in these times, it's more important than ever to honor the divine feminine and the divine masculine because most of the aspects that we have recognized as gender are the wounded aspects. So though it is very important to make the transition from wounded masculine to divine masculine, there also is a more inclined focus in these times of goddess worship and goddess understanding, because almost all of feminine understanding has been wiped out in the last 5,000 years or so. So understanding and connecting with Shakti, with the Divine Mother in many, many, many of her forms, which is my passion, any of her forms which call to you, is quite important. I have a hashtag that I started a long time ago, all forms of the Holy Mother. I have a dear friend, Claudia Alavos, who has a deck, Sacred Mothers and Goddesses. There are so many ways to understand that the goddess is all forms, that all forms of these divine feminine can link back to one source and that we're part of that source as well. It's one of my biggest passions in life. I've lived for it many times and I'm so thankful that you're here connecting with this energy as well and willing to explore this. The reason I'm quite passionate about Hinduism as well is because Hinduism is one of our clearest understandings, where all energy is one and that the many are one. Right, so in Hinduism, in the masculine terms, we have the Trimurti, which is the Hindu Holy Trinity, basically, which is Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu. But they link to the one aspect of Source. They're just different faces of Source. And then even breaking down from them, then we have their various avatars. And it's so clear from the beginning that they're all one. And it helps us understand that we're all one as well. It helps us understand our multidimensional aspects and our souls. And the goddesses do this as well. There is sort of a trinity of the goddess. So there are consorts of each of the 3 male deities. So Lord Brahma would consort or be divinely coupled with goddess Gayatri or goddess Saraswati, and Lord Vishnu would be coupled with goddess Lakshmi, and then of course we have my beloved Lord Shiva, and he is coupled with Parvati, and Parvati then breaks down to various forms as well. One of those forms is Durga, and so we honor Durga and 9 of her forms during Navratri. Today, as I am recording this, it is actually the second day or night of Navratri, and in this day and night, we honor her form as Brahmacharini. I realize I am saying that like an Italian, but I am an Italian, so we're going to go with it. In this form, her name stems from the root words Brahma, one of the three main gods, but it also, Brahma breaks down to mean in Sanskrit sacred knowledge, or the one self-existing spirit. And then the second half of her name breaks down to the root word charini, meaning female form, or the one who engages with. Now, I realize it's kind of confusing that she's taken on the Brahma name, even though she is a Shakti form of Parvati, consort of Lord Shiva. But Brahma plays a role in her story, and we're going to get into why she has this name as well in a little bit. But she is one who is known for being the embodiment of someone who did deep penance. And I have her here with me in spirit. We're going to get into some messages that she has of how we can take her experience and not exactly emulate it, but learn from it and perhaps try to live a more enlightened version. So she is the divine feminine aspect of rediscovering sacred knowledge. So if you are someone who's trying to reconnect with or remember or relearn, because there is part of our soul that is eternal and knows all these things already, but if in this life you are trying to rediscover and reconnect with sacred knowledge, she is an excellent goddess to connect with. I've also been very connected with Athena lately in Greek pantheon, and I like to link all the pantheons again to show that they're all one energy. So if you're familiar with Athena and that type of sacred knowledge, you may connect very well with the Brahmacharini form of the goddess. So whether you are male or female, working with her when you are trying to learn something or when you are trying to commit yourself to a path of deep learning and enlightenment, that becomes invaluable. Like I said earlier, she also endured severe penance in this life in pursuit of her goals. So in Hinduism, we have this aspect where people or other deities, sometimes even demons, perform great acts and perform them with commitment and consistency in order to receive what's called a boon from the higher deities. So Brahmacharini was reborn as that aspect of herself, because there was an earlier aspect, an earlier lifetime of hers where she was known as the consort of Lord Shiva and had a quite severe death. And this death sent Lord Shiva into a spiral and sent him back into hermit mode. Now, when she, as Shakti, was then reborn in a physical life embodiment as Parvati, she was walking one day and a sage recognized her as Shakti and told her this, and then she had an awakening and she remembered who she was. She remembered Lord Shiva. The sage told her things about Lord Shiva and she connected with that, and it filled her whole heart, and she found out that she was reborn because she was destined to marry Lord Shiva again, and they were destined to create a child that would actually kill and vanquish what's known as the Asura demon, or an Asura demon, because there can be many. These demons are quite nasty. I have fought them myself. I have a friend, Marcus, Starseed Light Codes, who helped inform me of them as well, and they are tough. So hearing that and knowing what a difference it would make in this world for that demon to be vanquished, knowing what a difference it would make in this world for her to be with her love again, and hopefully to also take him out of that deep despair that he was still sort of perpetuating in his hermit mode by having lost her in that previous incarnation. She followed advice of the sage and left her family and went off into the mountains, and she started doing a penance to receive this boon and get the attention of the deities and gods. This was what she felt to be the option to show people that she was Shakti reborn, that she was Lord Shiva's wife reborn. She felt that she had to purify her soul or re-enlighten herself and separate herself from the physical and mundane worlds in order to rise back to Shiva's level or get his attention and get her boon and her intended goal of his attention, his love, and marrying him. Now, this is where the channeled message portion comes in, where she gave me the advice that this is going to be difficult for some of you to hear, but I'm a twin flame. I work with a lot of twin flames, and I have been transitioning the past year or so in working with what I have been calling my guides and I more new paradigm twin flames. New paradigm twin flames would be souls that recognize that the work that we do for union shouldn't only be done for union, and that our only goal in life is not to just be with our twin flame, and that there is a very misinterpreted understanding and trauma bond and unhealthy aspect or hijacking of what twin flames are and have been known as in more recent times. So that itself is going to take a whole nother video. But I wanted to let you know, and the goddess and I wanted to let you know, that though you can easily see her story as a twin flame who kept working, and in fact she worked for thousands of years in that life, obviously in that aspect of the past, it's not only Hinduism where people lived for hundreds or thousands of years. There's many lost technologies and things that contributed to that. Many others in Old Testament and different books and religions also had that experience. But she worked for thousands of years. She lived in the forest. She ate foraging, and every couple of 100 years or every 1,000 years or so, she would even change what she ate to eat less. And eventually, in what is believed to be around the 5,000 year mark, based on some text, she stopped eating altogether. She stopped even eating the leaves that fell off the trees. And then eventually she did get Lord Brahma's attention, and his voice echoed throughout the world. And she was recognized again as Shakti, and Shiva even got attention and saw that this woman was so incredible. She overcame all earthly desires and needs, and he approached her. But what he did was he approached her in disguise. He approached her as a sage, and he tried to dissuade her from being with him. He then felt unworthy of her, and he was also testing her. He was testing her to see how she would speak about Lord Shiva to someone that didn't appear as Shiva. And she passed the test, and they did get married. Some things state that She actually killed the Asura demons with the help of goddess Lakshmi and goddess Saraswati, that she was able to open her third eye and shoot fire out to kill them after she was in a point of drowning from so much attack. I actually particularly like that version because I have lived that experience of feeling like you're drowning in attack and having several goddesses come and work with you to vanquish the demons. So I like this version. But as I was saying, in terms of old paradigm, new paradigm twin flames, though she did get what she wanted, and though her penance did pay off, in my experience with her now, and granted you can tap into a different paradigm with her, she will be there for you, she is universal, but in my experience she is sharing that was the old paradigm way to do things, to feel that we had to do and prove so much in order to be who we are, and in order to receive our love and get the attention of our love and get this power. It really can be much simpler than that. It's just that we have allowed our world to cloud our judgment. We have allowed others to tell us what we need to do. And that's what she needed to do in that lifetime. But that is a template that has unfortunately perpetuated and carried down through twin flame lines and twin flame culture that says that you have to do such deep and intense work sort of to prove yourself, or that you have to do such deep work in order for your twin to feel it and then be attracted back to you in doing their work, and then maybe they're not at your level, and then you have to go through all of these twists and turns in order to be together. We're becoming more multidimensional. We're attracting with different parts of our soul, and we don't have to do penance that asks us to prove ourselves anymore. If you take one thing from this video, and I hope you take more than one, but if you take one thing from this video, whether you're a twin flame or not, I hope it's that, because this applies to all knowledge seekers, all self-healers, everybody on the mindfulness journey, the ascension path, all of us who are trying to better ourselves, right? That's the term, better yourself. I'm much more liking the term discover yourself, because yes, the world has done horrible things to us, and yes, sometimes our past lives also affect us in our trauma, and we need to heal from them, and I do all that. I do that with myself and clients, but some things can be much simpler, and in fact a lot of things can be much simpler in terms of we don't need to prove ourselves. And if you feel that you need to do penance in order to receive something, explore that first. Explore that first, because do you want to believe in and work with a God or a paradigm that asks you to prove yourself? Do you want to work towards a relationship that asks you to prove yourself? Or do you want to work with a paradigm and an aspect of source and a reality that asks you to remember who you are and to do it for you, and that you don't have to prove yourself? Because Source and God and Universe and Goddess love you and trust you and want you to be honored and receive what you want. They respect you not to have to beg and not to have to put yourself through more suffering in order to end the suffering. Right? Goddess put herself through thousands of years of doing without in order to stop doing without her love, in order to have her love stop doing without her. And obviously, it wasn't wrong. Obviously, it wasn't. I love Goddess. I'm so thankful for what she went through. But she went through that, and I feel her sadness in the fact that so many of us are putting ourselves through it again instead of breaking the cycle, honoring and being thankful for what she went through and learning from it, and learning that we don't have to put ourselves through that. You know, we can take the example of her commitment and her consistency and her undying and unwavering faith, you know, that she would receive what she wanted. That we can take and use as an example. But we don't have to live her truth during that lifetime alone, because she elevated as well and became other forms. We don't have to live her truth and her template in suffering in order to receive what we want. There are other ways, and there are better ways, you know, and we're just honestly, as a culture and as light workers, most of us are just waking up to that, because it's been the opposite way for so long. But it's a new paradigm way that I'm really excited about, and I'm really thankful to be a part of, for myself and for clients. And I hope that this video, this rambling chat and channel, this learn about the goddess, has helped inspire you and has helped you think about some things. If you are a twin flame especially, be willing to look at things in a new way. All right. And I will do more chat and channel videos about twin flames. If you're watching this on YouTube, I will link them in the description as well as they come out. But I invite you to explore the new ways and not to pay in to the dogma anymore of what's become the twin flame community, which has become really unhealthy, because you deserve better. You deserve better, and you can live it. You can quantum leap to that better reality at any time. Now, it may take some healing, it may take some mindset resetting to do that. You know, that's what I'm here for, to help with that. And that's what your spirit guides are here for as well. So I encourage you to do that. Maybe journal after this video. Look at this image in these little Brady Bunch squares here. The second goddess in the top row, that is her form as Brahmacharini. You can ask her for help, and I'm sure that she will be there for you. And you can also explore the other forms of the goddess. If this has helped you and you think it could help someone else, I would be very thankful if you shared this on your social medias or shared it with friends. Give it a like or a thumbs up, and follow me, you know, for more. You can also visit my website, damcldesigns.com, where you can explore quantum sessions with me. If you would like to work on a deeper basis and unraveling your patterns and doing 𝐸𝐴𝐾 energy healing or quantum coaching, if you're really dedicated to resetting a lot of things, you can contact me to see if we would go beyond session work and be a good fit to do that deep work together. You can also explore my website for more of my energy artwork on enlightened merch, and through Damsel Divine Mirroring energy art activations. And if this has been a help to you and you are called and drawn and able, I also have a PayPal, which is always linked in either the bio or the description, paypal.me/DeezenlightenedEdits. If you would like, you can share any and all amounts appreciated donations to help support my energy and my works in making more things like this public. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you learned something from and with the goddess today, even if you've never connected with her before. And if you celebrate Navratri, if you celebrate Goddess Durga, one of my most sacred mothers, I am wishing you a happy holiday as well, and sending you so much love, light, and light codes. I will see you next time. Love, Danielle. #Damsel at D's Enlightened Edits.